Hi everyone, welcome back to Plant Boy. My name is Cade, and as you can see, we are in a new space. This is the room that I showed you in the previous video. I actually have it set up now. I'm still work in progress, but as you can see, we have tons of grow lights here behind me, and a ton of plants as well. So I think it makes for a really interesting setup, and hopefully it looks great on camera and it adds, more of a jungle vibe to the Plant Boy videos here. So I just kind of wanted to show you the new space, nothing too crazy today, and just kind of walk you through how I did it and various plans for the space as well, and open up the door for conversation for any kind of suggestions that you may have or anything like that. And if you're curious on how I did this little setup, really not a lot of work at all, I am looking forward to showing you. So the grow lights that I'm using are relatively cheap. They're LED grow lights from GE. They're here and they're actually advertised. It is a balanced light spectrum. It has red and blue light, which is recommended for seeding, budding, flowering, and fruit production. Different light spectrums are used by plants in various different ways to either seed or produce fruit or to flower or things like that. So I figured it would be the best thing for me to get would be a balanced light spectrum. These were like $10 a piece or something like that. I got them online, but you should be able to find these at your local box store or supermarket or things like that as well. It is recommended that you keep these lamps between 6 to 9 inches away from each plant for over 12 hours a day. It recommends, I think, 18 hours. Yeah, 18 hours a day, which is a lot. So I don't think that these push out tons and tons of light that the plants can use. So it's definitely going to be an interesting kind of trial and error, and we will see how these grow lights do and kind of adjust over time. The only window in this room is actually behind the camera there, and I don't get a whole lot of light through that window that would really reach over here. I think it's a north-facing window, so it gets good bright indirect light, but in terms of it actually reaching over here, it's pretty unlikely. So it's pretty much just grow lights at this point. As for the wiring, I purchased those online as well. They're just like lamp cords, and they actually have switches on one end. They're actually all wired down over here, so I can turn them on and off as I need to, but I just have them all connected to a power strip right now, and I will set up a timer then eventually. I just need to find the proper timer and figure out a time as well. But as for right now, I'm just flipping them all on and off using a power strip. Turn them on in the morning, turn them off at night. And they are just corded lamp. They are just lamp cords, as mentioned. I just have them running up from a power strip across the ceiling on hooks and then just draped down like that as well. I think it looks really cool, really awesome. You can find these in various colors as well. I just chose black because I thought it would look cooler than white. But yeah, definitely very interesting. And I'm hoping that the grow lights work very well for these plants. This plant shelf I also found online. Really interesting plant shelf. I think it adds a lot of what should we say, dimension, a lot of vertical dimension, and I think it looks really nice. And then I found these glass propagation jars online as well. I will just switch the water out from there every once in a while. I thought that was also kind of interesting and cool, and they are also hanging from the ceiling. And then I do have a small space humidifier back behind this Monstera that is not going right now, but I do refill that pretty often and get some humidity in here. I will probably end up bringing actually like a full-sized space humidifier up and put it in this room and keep the door open to humidify the top of the house or the top story of the house, because I don't think that's really going to cut it just for a very proximal amount of humidity increase. So if we go through the different plants that I have here, so obviously we have the Monstera Deliciosa here. And I have one primary grow light on that up there, and I'm hoping that this grow light down here will kind of help these leaves as well. I do have extra grow lights and cords as well that I will put up eventually as I kind of see what these plants need and tweak and adjust accordingly. I might need to put one close to here to really get those leaves lit. We also have a starfish Sansevieria over here and a Sansevieria jabella back there. Or Dracaena, I guess now. You know what I mean. And then we have a Philodendron melanochrysum here that I hope does well. These were actually all underneath a grow light downstairs, so I'm hoping that they acclimate nicely to this new grow light that I have. And then this is a variegated string of hearts in a cool little cover pot. And then I have an Alocasia black velvet hidden back behind here that I hope does well also. This Scindapsus exotica hanging from this cool macrame hanger that I found online as well. Then I have this bird's nest fern that I just recently got. It wasn't getting a whole lot of light and I don't think it was happy. Since I've put this grow light almost directly above it, I think it's been a lot happier. I really like this plant, so I'm going to allocate quite a bit of light to it. Then we have a watermelon peperomia here. Not really sure how that's going to do here. Again, I'm not familiar enough with these grow lights to really know if they are going to do super well or not, and in terms of how much light output it actually puts out, I don't know. We'll see. Then I have a Tillandsia, some Monstera propagations here. I have a Spathiphyllum domino here. This is a samurai dwarf snake plant, a golden honey. I don't think you can see down here, but I'll insert a clip. And then I have a neon pothos down here. Then we just have various pothos propagations, a ZZ propagation, and then I have a mini Monstera or Rhaphidophora tetrasperma hanging out back here. And I think I will eventually probably put another macrame hanger right up here, somewhere to fill out some of this space, but I'm not totally positive on that yet. Again, if you guys have any recommendations, let me know. And then I have the Philodendron Birkin, which I just did a video on. If you have one of those and you want to know how to care for it. Then I have a Sansevieria Moonlight is coming to mind, but I'm not totally positive on which cultivar that is. Then I have an Adansonii here that is doing pretty well. It was battling some like strange smaller pests. I'm not really sure what those pests were. I've never seen anything like them, but I've been keeping an eye and I haven't seen any on there, so fingers crossed. And then last but not least, I have a ZZ plant down here. I thought that would do okay because it's not getting a ton of light down there. But yeah, that is kind of the new plant studio setup. Let me know what you guys think, and if you have any recommendations on what I can do to improve the space or add any kind of visual interest. Again, I'm thinking I'm going to fill out this space up here with something eventually, probably like a pothos or something cascading, vining plant that can hang down and look really lush. Also, if you guys have any ideas about any kind of integrated pest management or something like that as well, I'm a little sketched out having so many plants in such a small space. I don't entirely know what I'm going to do about pest control yet. I'm just going to have to be very diligent for now. But if any of you guys have ever used any kind of lace wings or anything like that, let me know what your experience was. I have found some really nice pesticides that have taken care of a lot of the pest problems that I have, but I can just see this being breeding ground. Fingers crossed that doesn't happen. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions about the studio or anything like that, and I will see you all later. Bye.